it's time for one of our favorite segments, the D-Bag Awards. So Nathan, what's a D-Bag Award?
Well, Michael, the D-Bag Award is an award that we like to give out to people that just make the stupidest, self-defeating arguments that are the equivalent of running into a shed and just stepping on a rake and having it come up at a speed that somehow defies physics and just smacks him in the face, which, by the way, hurts like a son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And of course, it is named after Alan Dershowitz for that fateful time that he stood in front of the United States House of Representatives and tried to make the argument that it was completely okay for Donald Trump to pressure Ukraine to investigate his political opponent and cheat in an election because he believed that it was within the nation's best interest that he win the election.
Amazing. Nathan, I'm sorry,
Amazing.
but there's just no way that we're going to find someone that makes an argument that rises to that kind of total D-bag level. I mean, there's no way that we're going to find another Alan Dershowitz out there in the world that's going to make an argument that shitty.
Well, Michael, most weeks I would say that you're incorrect, and then I would say, here's our D-bag this week, and here's what they said.
Yeah.
But this week, you're actually not wrong. We can't find somebody that is dumber than Alan Dershowitz.
Wow.
So he's our D-bag this week.
Oh my God. The original D-bag is back.
The OD-bag is back.
Holy shit.
The original D-bag is back for a triumphant return.
This rivals like awards that go to like U.S. conservative House members.
Yes, it does.
That's pretty remarkable and sad. Okay, so what the fuck did this guy say that would land him on our show yet again?
So, Michael, it's a day that ends in Y, which means there's another horrible fucking take about the Israel-Palestine conflict that is spoken by some conservative douchebag.
Okay,
so
not surprising.
Alan Dershowitz was having a debate with our good buddy Cornel West on Sean Hannity's show.
Boy, that's a bit
about the Israel-Palestine conflict.
That's a bit unfair. Cornel West is a genius, and
Yeah. I mean, maybe if they had like 5 other people it would be fair, but no. So West was talking about how we should care about Palestinian children being killed.
Wow. Fucking hot take.
To which I want to read Dershowitz's response to that, then West's response, and then Dershowitz's response. Just buckle up, folks. Buckle up. So Dershowitz responds by saying, Hamas is the one responsible for the killing of Palestinian children. Also, Hamas has a term. It's called the CNN strategy. And the CNN strategy is to induce Israel into killing Palestinian children by using them as human shields, then parade the bodies out on CNN, and you'll see what happens. People like Cornel West will engage in crocodile tears, blame it on Israel, when the entire blame is on the Palestinians, Hamas, for using their children as human shields. Okay, pause. We're not at the D-bag part yet, but let's pause this for a second. Let's talk about the whole human shields argument for a second. The reason why theoretically the use of a human shield is supposed to work is because the person that you are shielding them from are the good guys, and good guys don't kill children.
Yeah.
So if, say, some wacko had taken over a school and was holding children hostage, the right response is not to blow up the school. The right response is to do everything you can to protect the people that are being used as human shields. Apparently, Dershowitz's strategy is just blow up the fucking school.
Wow. Yeah, D-bag point number 1.
So D-bag point number 1, but we're not...
He's right that you have to blame the hostage takers. Absolutely. But that isn't an argument for shooting the hostage.
But here's the thing. I'm not even sure if that's a good argument here because, like, it's not even necessarily hostages. They're just fucking there. Like, they're
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
living there in Palestine. They're just
Yeah.
living there. And the thing is, Israel has specifically said, we talked about this on the pod last week, that they're not focusing on accuracy. They're focusing on damage.
Mhm.
All right. They specifically said that. They don't care about how much destruction they do. They're focusing on damage. That's what they said.
Mhm.
That's what they said. So, anyway, Wes shoots back by saying, "Don't accuse me of crocodile tears, my brother," which I love.
Mhm.
I love Cornel West so much. I love, like, you know, he, even when he's going apeshit at you, he's still respectful,
Mhm.
you know, and he just calls everybody my brother. Like, I love that about him. Anyways, don't accuse me of crocodile tears, my brother. I have the same outrage when Palestinian babies are killed, when Jewish babies are killed, or Israeli babies are killed. I want you to have the same indignation when Palestinians are killed, which again sounds like the most reasonable fucking thing in the world.
Mhm.
All right. Kids killed, bad. I mean,
Yep.
you don't need a fucking moral philosophy professor to explain that to you. But apparently Dershowitz does. Because here's what he fucking says next. It shouldn't be the same outrage. You can't make a moral comparison. When Nazi kids were killed in the bombings of Dresden, I didn't have the same comparison when Jewish kids were put in gas chambers and crematoriums. You're a professor of theology. Don't you understand the moral difference between deliberately murdering a kid and having collateral damage because they're human shields? So, for those of you that are unfamiliar with the bombings of Dresden, there's a good reason why you're unfamiliar with them. It's because we weren't taught about Dresden in school. And the reason why we weren't taught about Dresden in school is because it is a fucking stain on our military history. So Dresden was a German city in World War II. There was a civilian city that towards the end of the war, the Allied powers launched this massive, massive bombing on it where they dropped tens of thousands of bombs. There were so many fire bombs that it actually created a mushroom cloud in a similar sort of vein as you would see in a nuclear bomb.
Mm.
And more people died, more civilians died in the firebombing of Dresden than in Nagasaki and Hiroshima combined.
Holy shit.
But of course, we don't learn about that in history class because that's kind of embarrassing. All right. Purposely killing civilians, that's kind of embarrassing.
That's kind of bad people
Apparently-
shit. Yeah.
That's bad people shit. But apparently, Dershowitz didn't get that memo.
Mhm. Boy, I like
Because
that. I like referring to Nazi kids. That's exactly
yeah,
the
Nazi
kind of
kids.
yeah.
Jesus.
That's that's exactly the mistake so many people are making. Kids can't be Nazis, guys. Kids can't be Hamas. Kids can't be terrorists. They're fucking kids.
Yeah. These are kids. All right. And again, you're a professor of theology. Like, you're a professor of theology. I'm sorry, but like, if your side is the defense of kids and dismissing the murder of kids as collateral damage,
Mhm.
you cannot feign outrage over somebody.
Yeah.
You cannot, like, you have no fucking leg to stand on. And also,
Yeah.
that wasn't even the Nazis using them as human shields. They just lived there.
Mhm.
They just lived in Dresden.
Yeah.
They just fucking lived there. Just like the children in Palestine just fucking live there.
Yeah.
And if you're the good guy, you don't do something like that. Literally, this argument boils down to, hey, back in my day, no one gave a fuck when you kill kids. What's the deal?
Yeah.
It's getting so you can't even purposely murder kids without a bunch of liberals crying over
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. And even if you see, like, even if you accept the moral idea that someone being killed as part of collateral damage is different from someone intentionally murdering someone, that's a really fine and thin distinction. Like, it just
Yeah.
isn't that different saying, I'm
Yeah.
willing to accept your death than it is to
Yeah.
say, I'm going to kill you.
Here's what I would say. If you make a decision that you know is going to kill innocent children,
Mm-hmm.
even if Like, you weren't in your mind thinking, like, my goal is to kill innocent children.
Mhm.
If you make a decision and you know that the result will be killing innocent children,
Yeah.
I honestly, I see that as just as bad as you purposely targeting them.
Mhm.
Like, I see that as morally equivalent, because ultimately it's the same result and the same prior knowledge.
Yep.
You are making a decision that is going to kill children, and you knew it at the time that you made it.
Mhm.
And it blows my mind that this fucking idiot used the argument of, well, if we care about children being killed here, then we'll have to care about children always being killed. Pretty soon, you're not going to be allowed to kill any children ever. Jesus Christ. Alan,
Oh,
buddy,
man.
just stop talking.
talking.
Just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, dude. Seriously. Oh, so congratulations to the D-bag himself, Alan Dershowitz, for getting this week's D-bag award.